Gentlemen, thanks for joining the show. Mr. GMan specifically as well, because it is 9 a.m. back in the land of Oz. So thank you very much for getting up so early and joining with us. And Kirk, brother, it's always good to have you on the show as well. But gentlemen, what have you been up since the last time you were on the show? GMan, you've been off the longest. It's been a year since you've been with us. What have you been up to?
Just trying to make it all happen and keep sort of pumping out content, I suppose. Nothing terribly exciting. I kind of went on a bit of a weird tangent there with all these like weird, crappy games on Steam. Because last year, as we all know, was kind of pretty average for games. So, I think I feel like there's a little bit of a resurgence in motivation. Like this year, it just seems like this year is a bit more positive. You know what I mean? Like I feel after 2024, we've got to have a better year and we've got to be a bit sort of like more positive looking towards gaming. So I'm trying to just keep that trend going, I think. Yeah,
I think we got a lot better games coming out this year and everything, for sure.
Yeah.
2023 was a banger of year, I thought, but 2024 was, some decent stuff came out, but it wasn't like a kind of overwhelming sort of...
It was a bit lighter of a year, for sure.
Yeah.
2023, I think we took for granted how much good stuff came out at that point. It was just like every month there was like something crazy coming out. I was actually like looking through the releases and it was like Bolt Gun and then like Amnesia the Bunker came out like that same month. And it's just like all these awesome games like tightly packed. So I think we just like were blown out from that. And then 2024 was just, dog water, man. I think in comparison,
I noticed you were talking about the change in your content, that's kind of going from kind of straight reviews, you've gone into almost compilationally type sort of I played something on PlayStation, that sort of thing, and you have quite a lot of them. Was this like a conscious decision, or was it literally just the games were a little thinner on the ground and you had to come up with something?
Yeah, I think it's just because I really like a lot of the old, like PS2 and PS1's kind of like my favorite era, apart from obviously like PC gaming stuff from there. So it was almost like I've got all these games that I bought over the years, and it's like I may as well maybe start trying to talk about them and covering them. And I spent a fair bit on like a OG setup with capture cards and all this kind of stuff. It's like this super crazy wormhole you can get like stuck into on how to like play old games and make them look really good. So I think it's just justification for time spent. You know, when you spend so much time doing something, you're like, well, I got to keep going at this point. Otherwise, it's like I'm past the point of no return. What have I been doing this whole time? So if I get some fun content out of it, and I think like I'm my older age, I'm appreciating the Xbox and the GameCube a lot more. Like I was like pro PS2 as a teenager, but now it's like, man, the Xbox was a fucking banger of a console. And the GameCube has so many
good games.
Man, but just like the technical proficiency of that console, I never really, I took it for granted as a young kid, but you play it now, you're like, damn, there's some like super advanced games that look like Xbox 360 titles almost, like they're that good looking for the time. Versus the PS2 is like, everything on that just looks like shit in comparison.
Yeah, like PS2 has some really good games, but Xbox definitely had some that were like pushing the boundaries a bit further for the generation that like really kind of almost lingered on that edge right before 360 for sure.
Yeah, like Project Gotham, there's like that racing game, and that looks like it's an Xbox 360 game. It's so crisp and like sharp and smooth. So I think I'm like just having a newfound appreciation for older games that I might have like overlooked because of my old Sony fanboy status.
Splinter Cell, Butcher Bay, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Butcher Bay's pretty damn good.
Butcher Bay and Doom 3 were my two benchmarks for Xbox.
That was the first game that I ever saw for the original Xbox. It was Doom 3.
The Half-Life 2 port was also pretty good.
Not bad. Was it? Nice.
I thought Chronicles of Riddick was an Xbox 360 game, and then I realized it was actually on Xbox, and I'm like, how the hell did they pull this off? Like, it's astonishingly good, man, for an Xbox game. Yeah,
Black Magic and Pixie Dust.
Yeah. They had some serious dudes working on it.
Kirk, what about yourself, mate? What have you been up to?
Unfortunately, it's a bit of the same story since last time, I think. Same story, but slightly worse. My last 2 months have been straight up crunch on finishing up this doc I'm on. But I'm happy to say, like, I have 2 weeks left on it and pretty much just kind of making my plan for getting out. I've had to put channel stuff on hiatus a bit. I was able to sneak out a video on The Thing back in November, but kind of had to keep the hiatus going. But in the meantime... playing some stuff that I'm excited to kind of cover. I think, coming back into KirkCollects after we get this doc wrapped, which I will let you guys know what it is when I can. It's been a lot. I can tell you off air though. But no, once we're kind of out of that, my plan is honestly a little less on the reviews, but actually getting into more. I've had these like long form video ideas over the years that I've either put aside because of time, or I'll start working on it, and then all of a sudden like New Blood will release something, and I'm like, well, I have to fucking review this. So I'm kind of like keeping reviews a bit on the back burner this year and kind of going for like longer form stuff. Some compilation stuff, which I'll admit I'm a bit inspired by you, GMan, on that. There's a few series that I kind of want to do group together, but also like, singular games that I want to like really dive into. Obviously Splinter Cell, but this is a Doom year, so I'm kind of going to start dusting off some of those games and maybe make some videos on those. But yeah, I'm basically like, I'm in the home stretch of this project and just kind of like making plans for what's next. Because I still, the goal is like get out of this doc and pretty much spend my time on the channel for the rest of the year until, I can make it a little more sustainable, or until, another project comes knocking. So yeah, it's kind of me. Otherwise, gaming a lot, mostly for fun. I actually finished up Indiana Jones like 30 minutes ago, so I'm really excited to talk about it. I hit that like
I thought I was going to be able to, but didn't quite get there.
Segue.
When I texted you guys in the thing, I was like, yeah, I finished up Thailand and then went into the next part, and then there's just some awesome stuff that happens in the last chapter of that game that I'm still oh my god, that was so cool. So
yeah, I'm trying to scrounge up like the last bit of side missions in the Thailand area.
Yeah,
I don't feel like doing all the collectibles, but like the mysteries and the field work, those are a lot of fun to do.
Those are a lot of
fun.
All
the collectibles, I'm like, I could, but like I don't really want to. That's like me with collectibles in every game, though.
I'm similar with that with collectibles, but I found something in the game that you need the collectibles for. So now I'm like, okay. But they let you, I will say, like when you wrap up the game, they do let you go back and like, go through everything if you have to wrap something up. Other than that, I've been playing Civ lately. I'm a Civ guy. Nice. So that's been interesting. I'll definitely say it's going to be the best Civ game in a year. So that's been cool. But yeah, that's otherwise that's kind of been me lately, just working and trying to stay sane. Yeah.
There we go. Hell yeah.